I'm planning to earn $1 million. The most exciting part is, I'm starting from absolutely nothing. No equipment, no land, no money in the bank. I'm also not allowed to take loans or use electric generators. So if you're interested, hit that like button and let's get started. And here I am, standing with no money and nothing at all. What should I do? That's right, contracts. I can begin by doing different jobs for other farmers and get paid for that work. Of course, I'll start with contracts that come with rented machinery. I'll make less money. But at this stage, that doesn't matter at all. I found this fertilizing field contract. It pays $4,000, but I'll have to spend $1,000 on equipment rental. So I'm taking the deal. Here's my setup. I hop into the tractor, attach the equipment, fill up the fertilizer, and head to the field. Here it is. Not too big, but there's plenty of work to be done. I line up along the edge, switch on the equipment, and get to work. Row by row, fertilizing the soil. Step by step, I'm getting closer to my first earnings. Well, that was quicker than I expected. I complete the job, and here it is. My first money. $3,000 in my pocket. I like this. But no time to rest, more contracts are waiting. Next one, a timber delivery job that pays $8,000. Perfect. I accept it. They gave me this truck and trailer. I get behind the wheel, hook up the trailer, and drive to the loading site. Here are the logs I need to haul. I unfold the loader and start loading. It's not easy, but I manage. "20 minutes later, the truck is full. Time to deliver to the paper mill. Here it is. I unstrap the load and unload the timber. Done. And even earned an extra $28 for the wood. I complete the contract and there it is. $8,000. I don't mind hauling logs, but loading them onto the trailer is exhausting, so I can't promise I'll do many more of these. Next, I found a hoeing contract that pays $7,000. Of course, I took it. I also quickly grabbed a mowing grass contract worth $9,000 before it disappeared. I'll start with the hoeing job. I take the tractor, hook up the equipment, and head out to the field. Here we are. I didn't expect it to be this big, but at least the pay is solid. I unfold the weeder and get to work. Oops, accidentally lowered the front weight instead of the weeder. Now the right tool is down. Let's go. It feels great working with quality machinery. The job goes smoothly, and the air conditioner keeps the cab cool. Very comfortable. An hour later, the job's done. $7,000 in my pocket. Time for the mowing contract. I grab the equipment and drive to the field. Here we go. I unfold the mowers, switch them on, and start cutting. The blades are sharp and everything is running perfectly. What I love most about mowing grass is the smell of freshly cut grass. And the field is done. Contract complete. $8,500 earned. Wonderful. But now I've got only $26,000 total. That's just enough to buy a tiny piece of land. And yes, the first thing I want to buy is a small plot to start scaling up my profits. So I take another contract, plowing. It pays $6,000. As always, I accept it, grab the machinery, and head out to the field. Two hours later, job's done. $6,000 in my pocket. Finally, it's time to buy my first farmland. I've got just enough cash. But which one? Here it is. A small stretch of land costing only $25,000. I buy it. Now I own my first farmland. And this isn't just a piece of land. It's the beginning of a big farming journey. The first thing I want to do here is mow the grass. It won't bring in much money, but at least it's something. For that, I rent a mower with a collection basket for $320 and get straight to work. The best part is, the grass gets collected right away as I cut. A few minutes later, the basket is full. Now I need to sell this grass. I'll deliver it to the animal dealer. They use grass as feed for their animals. Let's go. Here's the place. For one full basket of grass, I got $375. That already covers the mower rental, and most of the field is still uncut. So, let's keep going. An hour later, all the grass is mowed and sold. Altogether, I earned $1,500. Not bad. The land is slowly paying for itself. Now it's time for a little rest. Just don't forget to return the mower. And now, bedtime. Wait, no, one more thing. Alright, that's better. Now I can finally sleep for real. Now I need to make about $100,000 for my first business. But how? It's not going to fall from the sky. So you'll never guess. Contracts. Just like before, I made the money through contracts. Or actually, I've already made it. How? First, by plowing fields. Then another weeding job. After that, mowing grass. Then a fertilizing contract. 2 fertilizing contracts. No, 3 fertilizing contracts. Then another weeding contract. And one more after that. Plowing again, mowing again. And after all that, I managed to earn about $100,000. To be exact, I made $98,000 and I already had $7,000. So it's time for my first business. I want to start raising goats. They don't need much care, only eat grass and drink water, and they produce valuable goat milk. First, I'm setting up a small sheep barn for $51,000. Now it's time to buy the goats. I bought 26 of them for $21,000. And now they need grass. Since I don't have a big grass field yet, I decided to buy bales. 10 bales for $6,000. But now I need a way to move them. So I bought my own pickup truck for $15,000. And now, the fun part, delivering the bales. I load them up, strap them down, and drive to the goats. Hopefully, they won't fall off along the way. Now unloading. And repeat that a few more times. Done! Now the goats have food. All that's left is to wait for production. A few months later, here's what the goats produce for me. It's time to sell everything and continue expanding. I load the milk into the pickup truck and drive it off for sale. I'm heading to the dairy, where they process milk into different products like cheese, butter, or just bottle it for sale. Here it is. I unload the pallets. For the first batch, I received $50,000. That's a lot. Goats are definitely a great investment. Now I can start thinking about another business. I want to build greenhouses, but not the usual kind. Mushroom greenhouses. I decided to install the largest size available, but for now, I could afford only one. It cost $36,000. That's fine. For the greenhouse, I also needed a water source, so I installed one, minus another $500. I'm going to grow several types of mushrooms. Oh, there are only 2 types available. Fine, then 2 types it is. It looks awesome. I hope it brings in some good money. But I want to set up one more greenhouse. I'm short by $2,000. So let's get back to my best source of income, contracts. And here it is, my lifesaver, a hoeing contract paying $7,000. Of course, I'm taking it. Wow, what a nice tractor. Cringe, I'm already fed up. And the field is huge. Oh my god, it's really huge. But remember, $7,000. While I'm finishing the job, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support me financially, you can become a channel member using the link in the video description. I'll stock up on coffee and energy drinks to film even more videos for you. Thanks. Done. Give me my money, I'm off to build that second greenhouse. Done. Now I've got 2 big greenhouses. You can call me the master mushroom grower now. All that's left is to wait for the mushroom harvest and more goat milk. A few more months pass and production has built up again. Let me show you. Goat milk, 4 pallets. Not bad. And the greenhouses are even more interesting. 10 pallets from each one. You can see 9 here because 1 more pallet is still inside. So 20 pallets of mushrooms in total. That should bring in a good amount of money. Let's sell them. I load the pallets into the pickup truck and drive to the buyer. I'm selling the mushrooms to a restaurant. Here it is. For the first batch, I earned $12,000. Not bad. Time to pick up the rest. I earned $33,000 from the mushrooms. That's awesome considering they only need water to grow, and I still have to deliver the goat milk to the dairy. Another $30,000. Goat milk really is top tier, and expanding that business makes total sense. So now, my balance sits at $67,000. Time to finally buy a field for growing crops. I want this field. Why? Of course, because of the price. It costs $55,000. It already has canola growing on it, which I can harvest and sell right away. And here's the best part. The selling point for canola is right next to the field. So I won't need any extra equipment for transport. After the harvest, I can even sell the field again. So, I bought it. Now, I just need to rent a combine harvester. I picked this one. It's not expensive, but it's reliable. The rental costs $5,000. So I grab the combine harvester and drive out to the field. Time to start working. Lowering the header and beginning the harvest. This is something I could watch forever. It's downright hypnotic. And the field is harvested. Time to sell the crop. Let's head to the grain elevator. Here it is. Unloading's a bit awkward, but definitely better than renting extra equipment. I earned $16,000 for the canola. Perfect. My first crop is done. Now I've got a business idea. I just sold that same field I bought with the canola and plan to buy a few more. Harvest their crops and sell them right after. Genius strategy. Except for one thing. Time. It's the last month of harvest season and there aren't that many fields left ready to harvest. I sold the field and bought another one. Like this. Now I'm heading out to harvest it too. It's also planted with canola. Same formula. Harvest the crop. Sell the crop. Another $19,000 profit. Sold the field. Bought another one. Also with canola. Harvested it. Sold it. Plus $21,000. And sold that field too. Done. That's it for now. No more fields with canola left, and the harvest season for canola is almost over. Altogether, I made nearly $56,000. Subtract the combine rental, $5,000, and that's a clean profit of $51,000. Nice. The more money you've got, the easier it is to multiply it. And the more money you've got, the more cones you knock down. Smash that like button if you agree. And don't forget to return the combine. I can't skip another solid way to make money. Silage. Yeah, silage is a great income source, but only on a big scale. Near my so-called farm, there are 2 small grass fields. Why not try making silage? I wonder if it's even possible to make a profit with such tiny fields. And did you really think I'm going to make silage out of those poor little fields? Of course not. I wouldn't even cover the equipment rental. You'd need something at least this size to make serious money from silage. But there's one problem. The land price. So we'll have to put that plan on hold. Still, a small field could come in handy, so I'm buying it. $55,000, and now I've got a perfect spot for expanding my operation. There's even carrots growing there. Why not try harvesting and selling them? I'm really curious to see how much that brings in since I've never harvested carrots before. I rented the necessary equipment, a tractor and a carrot harvester. Rental cost $10,000. Hopefully, it'll at least pay back. I take the equipment and drive to the field. I unfold the machinery and start working. The working width is huge, so this might take a while. After one pass, I've collected about 1,300 gallons of carrots. They're currently selling for around $2,100 per 1,000 gallons. So that's about $2,500 per pass. Just imagine how many passes this whole field will take. I might have found a gold mine here. But the storage is already full. I need to unload. So I decided to rent a truck with a large trailer. It's a cost-effective move since it has plenty of capacity. Another $7,000 in rental fees. Here's a little life hack: how to unload into a high trailer properly. And now, a few very interesting hours of carrot harvesting ahead. See you when it's done. 2 hours later, the first trailer is full. Off to sell it. $37,000. That's awesome. Especially considering I could have just built over this field and let the carrots rot. An hour later, the field is completely harvested. Sold the rest of the carrots. Another $23,000 in my pocket. Altogether, I made $60,000 from the carrot harvest. Subtract the rental costs, $17,000 total. And that's $43,000 in profit. Not bad at all. But honestly, it took a ton of time and nerves. I don't want to mess with vegetables in the fields anymore. Now I've got a perfectly flat open spot for whatever crazy plans come next. I'm setting up another goat pen right here. And of course, I'm buying more goats. They bring in solid profit, so why not scale up? Now I just need to bring them some grass. I'll borrow a few bales from my first group of goats. Hopefully they won't mind. Perfect. Now the goat milk production will double. Time to wait again. I skipped forward quite a bit, enough time for the goats to eat up all the grass they had. Now it's time to sell the goat milk, and there's a lot of it. Here's some here. And more over here. Plus, the greenhouses are full of mushroom pallets, which I can also sell. Or rather, have to sell. For that, I'll rent a truck and trailer since there are too many pallets. And doing it all with the pickup truck would take forever. So I rented them for $10,000. First, I load up the goat milk and head off to sell it. $311,000. Incredible. My biggest earnings so far from selling products. But there's still the mushrooms. Let's go pick them up. The mushrooms brought in another $160,000. That means my balance is now at $490,000. Counting the animals and greenhouses, I've already passed halfway to my goal. Now it's time to bring more grass for the goats. So I buy 10 more bales and deliver them to the pens. Done. They've got enough food again. And now, on to another business. More greenhouses, but this time for vegetables. I'm planning to cover this whole field with them. The main thing is not to forget to leave a bit of cash for future equipment rentals to transport products. So I set up 13 greenhouses to start with. I'll grow lettuce. It's the most profitable crop and brings a great return. Now it's time to wait. 1 month later, the greenhouses have produced around $150,000 worth of products. That's a lot for a single month. But $15,000 was deducted for maintenance. So let's wait a few more months. And while I waited, I spotted this passing hurricane. Terrifying sight, especially for farmers with crops out in the fields. Now production has piled up. Time to sell. But I don't have money for a truck. Actually, I'm $60,000 in the red, since I have to pay greenhouse maintenance fees whether I sell products or not. So let's sell goat milk and mushrooms first to earn the money for a truck rental. I take the pickup and get to work. First, goat milk. $67,000. Perfect. Debt cleared. Now the mushrooms. Plus $19,000. That's not all the mushrooms yet, but it's enough to rent the truck. So I rent it and first finish hauling the rest of the mushrooms. From those, I made another $84,000. And now the exciting part. Time to sell lettuce. Oh, I can already tell this will take a while. By the way, the greenhouses are lined up like this on purpose, to make loading the truck easier. Alright, the first trailer's full. Let's go sell. The truck's struggling hard, but we'll make it. Off we go to the farmer's market. Lucky me, it's nearby. Here it is. $285,000 for the first trailer. Let's keep going. Another $280,000. Comment below, do you think I'll hit $1 million from this lettuce harvest? Another $280,000. Only one greenhouse left. I'll even load this one manually. And oops, I forgot to shut the back doors and everything spilled out. Let's finish the last bit by hand. And there it is. Yes, I did it. $1 million in my account. Feels amazing to see such a big number. The video could end here, but hold on. I'll show you something interesting. Right now, I can invest this money and make another $1 million in literally 2 minutes. Let's go. I'm covering this field with more greenhouses, then buying another field and filling it too, using every last cent. Then I get some sleep. And look at that. $1 million again on my balance. But how? Simple. I turned on automatic product sales in all my greenhouses and kept scaling up. Might look like cheating, but everything's accounted for. I pay for water, product delivery, and selling. Just like hiring real workers to handle it all. That means I now have a truly passive business bringing in steady money. Of course, profits change with seasons and weather, but since it's passive income, I can live with that. And no, I didn't break any challenge rules. I get it, it might look like income from power generators, but remember, I earned my first million purely through manual work. So that's all for today. You can share your own challenge ideas down in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. This was Fizbee. See you next time.